Okay, so this is video number 2 on how to avoid suffering. In video number 1, I said that I would talk about, in this video, how to hear God's voice, how to discern God's voice. Because in video number 1, I said the one way to avoid suffering is to always obey God's voice inside of you. He's all wisdom. Right, look at James 3:17. You can actually use this as a test if you are hearing from God. It says, but the wisdom that is from above. When God speaks, it's wisdom. It'll be the wisest thing for you to do. But the wisdom that is from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, and easy to be entreated, full of mercy and good fruits, without partiality and without hypocrisy. So in this video, I want to talk about how to discern God's voice from all the other voices in your mind. What was a game changer for me is in 2015, when I took a Bible study called 4 Keys to Hearing God's Voice by Mark Verkler. He is, his ministry is communication with God Ministries. I think that's what it's called. But you can buy this book, 4 Keys to Hear God's Voice, off his website, or you can buy it on Amazon. There's actually 10 DVDs that go along with it. I ordered them. It was very beneficial for me. But the 4 keys are very simple. Quiet yourself. Sit in a quiet place and quiet yourself. I like to put soaking worship music on, in my ear, my earbuds or whatever, so that, this is music that's, you're not going to be able to sing to this music, okay? It's just instrumental background music to kind of keep your focus. Quiet yourself in front of God. Picture Jesus in your mind. Use your imagination. Is he sitting beside you? I love walking with him on the beach. Wherever you want to picture him. And then start talking to him. Do you have a question? Ask a question. Don't start with millions of questions and bombard him. Start slow. Say good morning to him. Talk to him. Say, do you have anything to say to me today? Lord, I'm having trouble with you loving me. Can you talk to me about that? Can you tell me, do you love me? And then you quiet yourself. And with pen in hand, you write what you hear in your mind. When God speaks, it's thoughts in your mind. And it will be a spontaneous flow of thoughts. And then you start writing them. The beauty about writing them is that you can look at them and see, is this really from God? James 3:17 was a good test. Also, yes, God will always, match God's word or his character, his heart. Another thing about hearing God's voice is, instead of, we talk to ourselves all day long, right? You're talking to yourself. Why don't you just talk to Jesus? Lord, I don't know what in the world to make for dinner tonight. Lord, I'm running late. Can you do something? I mean, you're in charge of all time, Talk to him. I talk to him all day long, 24/7. I don't talk to myself anymore. Talk to him. That's how you start a relationship with him. And the more you talk to him, the more you hear from him, you and him become tight. And we're going to talk about that, because intimacy with God is also one way how to avoid suffering. Another thing I wrote down here is, when you ask God a question, expect him to answer. Right? James 1:6 and 7 says, if you ask God something, ask in faith. Otherwise, you're not going to receive anything. It really is faith that moves God. It's not our need. It's faith in him providing that need. Most, if not all, spontaneous thoughts come from the spiritual realm. And yes, that means also from the enemy. And I recently heard something that's really plain and simple. Here's how to tell the difference. Are you getting spontaneous thoughts from Satan or from God? Here is a beautiful test. God will always bring peace and solutions. The devil brings fear and problems. This is something that I've learned. If God is teaching you something, or if you're meditating on a verse and God's teaching, He wants you to see something about that. He wants to reveal something to you about that. Sometimes He will just give you a few words or a few sentences in your mind, but along with that, simultaneously, along with those few words or sentences will come the whole teaching. It's like He deposits the whole teaching, whoom, into your spirit. I remember one day years ago, I was still working. I'm retired now. And this was summertime, and I was going to, for my lunch hour, I was just going to walk around, get some exercise, and I wrote down a verse on a 3x5 card and thought, you know what, I'm just going to meditate on this verse during the time I'm walking, my lunch hour, and see what God has for me. And that day, that's why I'll never forget it. As soon as I walked out of the building and down the stairs, poof, the whole teaching came into my mind. I mean, it was like, but he deposited the whole thing in my mind. I'm like, what? And then now I had to go write it down real quick. That's, he's amazing. You know what? He speaks though, and you can't put him in a box. He doesn't just speak with thoughts in your mind. He speaks many other ways. I'll give you a few that I can think of, but I'm probably not even scratching the surface. He speaks through dreams or visions with some people. I say, if you're an artsy-fartsy person, if you are a right-brain person, He might speak more to you with dreams and visions. He speaks through other people. He'll speak through media, which includes social media, music, books, movies. I have watched movies, and all of a sudden I hear something. I'm like, oh my gosh, I feel like you're telling me that. Write it down. Sometimes, and I think this is as you grow in getting closer to Him and understanding His ways, you will often feel. Remember, feelings, they come from God. You will often feel that He wants you to do this or say this. You'll feel promptings. Or you just know it. You're like, you know what? I can't explain it. I just know this is what I have to do. I think that comes in time as you're walking with Him. I'm going to leave you with two more things about hearing God's voice. It is so important, because how can He lead you, guide you, teach you, heal you, correct you, and even warn you if you cannot hear His voice in some form or another? I'm going to leave you with two things. One is it's a quote from a lady named Kathy Moat. I have followed her for years on Facebook. I think half my journal is things that she wrote that God gave her. But unfortunately, she's no longer alive, so don't search for her. I suppose you could search for her. She's still on Facebook, I think. Then you can see her, her prior messages. But this is one thing she wrote that was something that God gave her. One of the things we as parents teach our children is not to walk out in the middle of traffic. We teach them this to keep them safe. Oddly, this is exactly what we as Christians do when we become involved in spiritual matters, using our own thinking to navigate instead of the Lord's very specific leading. The Lord said, I want your heart so entwined with mine and your focus so intent on me that you know when to speak and when to steer clear of debate. In short, He wants us to walk not according to our own judgments of what is right or wrong, but by His presence, knowing His will. And then I want to end this video by giving you something that God gave me years ago. I asked Him this question: God, why is life so hard? Why are there so many thoughts bombarding my mind? When will this stop? This was obviously many years ago when I was a baby Christian. And this is what the Lord said: it will stop when you start letting me lead you. It will stop when you obey my voice. The enemy is trying to get you to lead yourself by putting thoughts into your mind. I am trying to get you to be led by me by putting thoughts in your mind. You need to discern which is my voice and follow it. Wonderful way to end this video. You need to learn to discern God's voice and follow it. and you will be able to avoid much suffering.